Hey everybody, what's up and welcome to another Sims 4 house building video. In today's video, I am continuing my series of building the worlds in The Sims 4, and in this video, I am building a new house, or two new homes, for Summer Holiday and Liberty Lee and Travis Scott. I had a lot of fun with this one. This is one that I actually built a while ago. It was actually when the For Rent expansion pack was, I think, either just released or it was just about to be released. I still haven't bought the pack. I personally wasn't very happy with how the pack turned out, but more on that in a minute. Basically, my intention with this build was to create new homes for Travis, Summer, and Liberty, and the idea was that Summer Holiday owns the primary house in this case with the swimming pool, and she ended up buying the second house. I have it in my head that she would be a very, very wealthy individual, and she either bought the house next door or her family owns the house next door, and she decided to rent it out to her two best friends, Travis and Liberty. And that's kind of just the general idea I was running with. But because that this is Summer's primary home, her house is much more put together. I'd imagine that this is a house that she either inherited from a relative or it's one that her family owns and she has just lived in for a number of years, and she's a young adult now and she's much more settled than her new neighbours. But the idea was that her house is much more put together, and then Travis and Liberty are relatively new next door, and I kind of wanted to give it this aesthetic of new college students moving in, or university students, or whatever you guys want to call them. I would say college, but a lot of people, I now live in the UK, I'm Irish, but I live in the UK, and when I say college, it doesn't mean the same thing here as what I would consider college. Like, when I say college, I mean university. When you say college here in the UK, you're not talking about university. I'm still unclear as to what you're talking about. It's some kind of a gap between like second level and third level, like what I would call secondary school and college. There's something in the middle. I don't quite understand it. But anyway, that's beside the point. I don't know why I'm talking about that. But the idea was that Summer owns both of these houses, and using the functionality of the For Rent pack, you could actually do this now. You could have Summer own the primary house and renting out the secondary house, the blue house in this case. And I just think it would be a lot of fun to play this way. I think that there's a lot of storytelling potential. If you're unfamiliar with their storylines, I believe that the story going is that Summer and Liberty are both in love with Travis, but Travis is kind of caught in the middle and doesn't know which way to go. But if this is your first time watching one of my Building the World series videos, I tend to like to change up their storylines a little bit. So the storyline I'm going with is that Travis is interested in neither of them, but the girls are both interested in him, and it kind of causes a rift between the girls, which is kind of unfortunate, but I kind of want the story to unravel that the girls eventually find out that he doesn't like either of them, and he's kind of using both of them. He's keeping both of them at arm's length because he's obviously renting a house relatively affordably from one of his friends, and he's able to get it even cheaper by splitting it with another friend. And he's kind of using the fact that they're both interested in him to his own gain, shall we say. I don't know why I do this, but when I play The Sims, I like to inject as much chaos as humanly possible. If you've seen my other videos of building the worlds, I tend to like to make things darker. Like, I created a whole rift between, well, I don't know if I created the rift, but there is a rift there amongst the Sims community between Eliza and Bob Pancakes, but I really wanted to ham it up. I basically made it that Eliza is expecting another baby, or a new baby, first baby, I can't remember, and she's making it out like it's Bob's, but it's not Bob's, it's Don Lothario's, and Don Lothario has gotten a couple of other women in the town pregnant, and it's all just chaotic, and I'm injecting more chaos into this. I don't know why I play this way. I just think it's very fun to have a very chaotic neighborhood in The Sims. I think it inspires a lot of weird storytelling, and it's kind of fun. I just always like to have as much fun as possible, and for some reason fun equals chaos for me. Not in real life, but in The Sims. I think that's the point of The Sims. It's meant to be kind of escapism, I guess, but I don't know why I'm talking about this. Anyway, these houses end up being quite large. They're built on a 30 by 40 lot in Willow Creek. It's kind of in the poorest neighborhood, or what I perceive as the poorest neighborhood. But Summer's house in particular, this yellow house, is on the nicer side. I definitely think it's more, shall we say, upper class for a small house. I don't know if upper class is the best way to describe that, but it's what I'm going with, because in my brain she's very wealthy or comes from a very wealthy family, and she just has a lot of nice things. And I tried to inspire this house off of what she was originally wearing and how she was originally designed in The Sims. She kind of had a very preppy look, a lot of blues, and obviously her name is Summer Holiday. I wanted things to be very light and playful and pastels, so I went with a lot of blues because she wears blues. And I think in other iterations of the game, she's kind of always portrayed in blues, and she has like blonde hair and she looks kind of stereotypical girl next door type. And I just really wanted to lean into that. And I was basically trying to portray that throughout her entire house. And she's also very active, so I decided to give her a home gym in the bedroom at the front of the house. And there's plenty of workout equipment. If you have some of the other packs, like I think there's a kit that has like a lot of clutter and stuff, you could definitely clutter it up with more workout equipment. Or you could just completely gut it and make it a second bedroom or whatever you want it to be, really. Because if you like this build, you can absolutely download it. I will have my EA ID linked in the description and in a pinned comment if I remember to put it there. And you can absolutely download this, do with this house or these houses whatever you want, and just have fun with it. I had a lot of fun building these because I think I was kind of caught up in the moment of like the For Rent pack, and I was really, really excited for that pack, and I think it had a lot of potential, and it just fell a little flat. But again, I'll come back to that in a second. Sorry, I keep teasing that, but I want to keep talking about this build for a minute. Anyway, in Summer's house, it is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, and then in the secondary house, which is where Travis and Liberty live, it is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, I believe, and it's a bit more run down. Things are very rental, if that makes sense. Like, it looks like a house that's been rented. Not a lot of it has been personalized. The walls are very bare basics. All the flooring is very similar. And I honestly had more fun building that house than I did Summer's house, because I'm someone who has rented my entire adult life, and I'm very familiar with the restrictions of renting. And I thought it was kind of fun to portray that in The Sims. Very bog standard kitchen, very normal living room, kind of an awkward layout. You know, the fireplace is kind of in a weird place, so it means the living room has to be kind of scooted over to the side, but they've kind of made the most of the space by having like an art space. They each have their own kind of office spaces in their room, or gaming stations, whatever you want it to be. Like at the dining table, there's mix-match chairs. It's just a lot of fun. But like I was saying, and now that I won't be teasing it anymore, the intention behind this build was inspired by the For Rent expansion pack, which I was so excited for when it was announced. I thought it had so much potential, and I was very, very let down by it when it was released because of what everyone is thinking, the loading screens. I think it's absolutely ridiculous the amount of loading screens that are involved in the game now, because if you live in a building with 5 other tenants, or I think 6 is the max or whatever, and you want to knock next door, you have to sit through a 2-minute loading screen. Like, I have a good computer. My computer is quite powerful. I'm a graphic designer by trade and a video editor, so I have quite a powerful computer, and my computer struggles with The Sims because of the amount of content I have, the amount of expansion packs, all that stuff, and my computer just struggles. I sit through 2-minute loading screens, and I don't really mind it when I'm going through like different lots or whatever. But when I'm on one single lot, and now there's loading screens within the lot, that's pushing it too far for me. And it's just very disappointing because I love to build, and For Rent is such a builder's expansion pack. There's so many amazing tools in it. I think the ability to create things like townhouses, or in this case, 2 houses on one lot that are completely functional, and you can split it so Summer is one household and Liberty and Travis are another household. I think that's amazing. I think it's such an incredible thing that they've added to the game. But then they've gone and locked it behind loading screens, and I just think it makes it very unplayable, and I'm very, very disappointed in it. And I probably will at some point end up buying it, because that's just who I am. I end up buying all the Sims games because I just love the Sims, but I'm going to be waiting till it's on sale. I'm going to be waiting till it's on a significant sale. I did the same thing with Horse Ranch, but not because I thought it was a bad game, but because I just don't really have much of an interest in horses in The Sims, and the building style in it isn't really my taste, but I did end up buying it after For Rent came out because I was able to get it on like a massive sale. It was like 60% off or something. So I was like, I don't mind spending 10 or 15 pounds on it, but I do not want to spend over 30 pounds on a pack that is, in my mind, 80% loading screens. Even in the case that, like, I'm a major Sims fan. I watch a lot of Sims YouTubers. I watch like the Sim Supply, Lil Simsy, Plumbella, all of them. I watch so many, but watching like James Turner doing his Rags to Riches challenge within the For Rent pack, and he basically couldn't do it for the first 5 episodes because there wasn't enough new gameplay to create a Rags to Riches challenge. I just thought it was such an empty pack. The world is so small. Every lot in the world is tiny. They try to sell it as like, oh, there's a new food market, but it's just the stalls from every other pack just remasked as something new, even though it's the exact same thing. And as much as I love to see new cultures represented and new types of food and new things in the game, to me, new recipes are not enough to sell an expansion pack. Maybe a game pack, probably a stuff pack, not an expansion pack. If one of your main selling points is different types of food, I'm like, I can jump onto the internet and get 200 new recipes in a mod. Do you know what I mean? It's very strange to me to sell something that is already ingrained in the game, in recipes, as a new feature of an expansion pack. I don't know. I'm ranting now. I apologize. I don't mean to get negative in my videos. This started off very positive. I love this build. I hope you guys do too. But I just had to get that off my chest. I wanted to explain the inspiration behind this build. And unfortunately, it just got kind of negative. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I absolutely had a ball building it. And I know that when I do eventually buy the For Rent pack, I will absolutely implement the gameplay functionality of it, of making it 2 separate homes on the same lot. I think that's an incredible feature, and I'm very excited to do that. But yeah, that was a lot of ranting. I apologize, but I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, all that good stuff. Share this with a friend, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next one, and hopefully the next Building the Worlds build. I need to figure out a new name for that. That doesn't sound good. The next Building the World build. That doesn't sound right. But I'll figure that out in the next one, and I will see you guys then. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.